Or
Well,
do
what
I
else
just
you got, man? Let's hear
well, I
about it.
mean, so here's the thing. Leonard had put a post up
Oh
because
yes,
they had a
Leonard.
tournament over the weekend, and it was about okay, so I've refereed some, you've refereed some, Ryan. Cody, you're in the chat. You've been a ref before. Doesn't happen to everybody, but what are you guys' thoughts when you make a call and that particular puller doesn't like it and they start to yell at you because they don't like your call?
Depends. So, in the heat of the moment, I've had guys yell at me, and very briefly. And if it's like not offensive, or they're not saying a bunch of nasty shit about you, they're just yelling because they're frustrated. I get it, but there are lines. I'm going to yell at Cody during a match. I'm going to yell right at him because it says it makes him want to cry. So there's a line that you shouldn't cross with the referee. Now, that line is different from everybody because we also heard stories about Mr. Costello reversing a call at an event because the guy said something to him that he found offensive. We found out later what that thing was, and it turns out it wasn't very, it's open to interpretation, we'll say.
Right.
But I've never seen somebody like WWE, the referee has reversed his call, and in fact, the winner is this guy. I don't know, man. It's there's a lot of shit that guys get away with at, say, King of the Table that you would never ever get away with at, say, a world championship or a national championship.
Right. And I say that because, there was an incident where, and I'm not going to mention names, but there was a call that wasn't real popular with a certain puller. And I guess he uttered the words, "Is that slow enough for you?" That kind of stuff. So I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
talking about. That's the Joey call.
Okay. So it was one of those deals. And, as a ref, first of all, I'm going to say this. You're a certified ref. I'm a certified ref. Some of you guys in the chat are certified refs. And it's a human call, right? So what you guys got to understand is that we're human. We're not computers. We don't have the luxury of instant replay, that kind of stuff.
Unless it's the finals at the
Right.
Nationals, then we do actually do instant replay.
Yeah. So we don't have the luxury of that. But y'all need to realize, first and foremost, without the referees, you ain't got no tournament. Let's get that out there right now. Yeah, that was a while ago. No, this one I'm talking about happened over the weekend at the USAA internationals. So probably same situation though. So
what was the call?
I can't remember what the call was because it was so much to read through. I was like, I don't want to read every single comment, but the basis of it was the way that the puller was not happy with one of the calls. And I'm like going, okay, so what you got to do, talk to the ref first. If you're going to be a jerk to the ref, there's a good chance that even though the ref has to be neutral in all aspects, right? Got to be neutral. If you're going to be a jerk to the ref, he's liable not to be as open to hear your opinions as you were if you were just saying, hey, if I'm in a tournament and let's just say Ryan missed a call, cost me a match. Hell, it might have cost me the tournament, depending if I was on the B side or not. I said, Ryan, dude, like his elbows come out the front of the pad. You don't see that. Just kind of look for that next time, right? As opposed to, Ryan, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You fucking missed that call again. What are you, fucking blind? I guarantee you, when you approach a referee like that, they are not as open to listen to you going forward. It's disrespectful because refs get a lot of, doesn't matter what sport you're in, refs get a lot of flack no matter what.
Yeah, you're right. The weird thing about this is we never had a mechanism built into any rule that said after the match was over, you could continue to make calls to impact that person. So there's nothing written in rules that say, you can be kicked out of the tournament, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, At the Canadian Nationals, there's not. So there's nothing that a ref does in between to impact anything between rounds. The only thing they have control over is the unsportsmanlike foul that is happening through the course of the match. Now, if somebody says, that's bullshit ref and says a bunch of nasty shit to a referee and the
Right.
match is still going, then that person could get a foul for unsportsmanlike conduct, ending that match. However, if the call is that the other guy won and the guy doesn't agree with it, does he now have the ability to say whatever he wants without immediate consequence, except for when he comes back to the table, what you said is that he wouldn't be open to observing and being more careful about a call that they may have missed?
Well, if the puller is that graphic about the whole thing, you remember that John Dable situation with Scott Wynn. You remember that a few years ago?
Yeah. Did he get kicked out of the tournament?
Yeah. Like,
okay. But he actually assaulted a referee.
Yeah.
So that's kind of next level. That's the very extreme example of that. But I think Scott gave as good as he got in that one.
And it spurred from a call that John didn't like. And let's be real, at that point in time in John's life, he wasn't on the up and up. I'll say that. But, he snapped, all right, get him the fuck out of here. I think he even spit on him at one point, I believe. But Ron Bath had to jump in there and grab John, kind of held him like that and go, dude, chill the hell out. Then there was that situation. So, when Ron Bath grabs you, it's time to start listening. So
that hand is on your face.
Yeah, when he grabs you like that with those big paws, you might want to straighten up and listen to what the man has to say. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of curious, what your thoughts were, because I admit I've blown some calls before. Matter of fact, there was calls made and they're on the video because somebody filmed it or whatever, and I go look back and go, damn, I did miss that call. It happens.
There's a whole thing here. Like I get frustrated when the guys I coach will not talk to a referee at all. So they go up, they take what they're given, and then they're mad about it. But they have a voice that they can actually be talking to. And even though the ref might not engage them, he's still listening. So as a referee, you're not supposed to be having a conversation with an arm wrestler. However, you can still be listening during your setup to what they're talking about because it might be valid. Sometimes it isn't, and a good referee will know the difference. So if a guy says, my thumb's not showing, and clearly my thumb knuckle, clearly it is, well, you ignore that and you keep setting up the match. You don't stop what you're doing to engage that puller. And then it gets to the extreme. But I think at the end of it all, the referees should be off limits as far as the abusive shit, Right. That should not be a thing. You should not be in the course of a match trying to mess with that referee so bad that it gives you an advantage because they're flustered and you get away with things. That should be off limits as far as I'm concerned.
That's the worst thing to do, because it's and especially you made one call and they said the referee's calls are final, and then you go back and change it. It's like, okay, this is where, if you don't like it, how both refs, they walk away from the table, away from everybody. What'd you see? This is what I saw. What did you see? That's probably your best chain of that's the best way to do stuff. How many times have we seen this, Ryan? Hey, I call elbow foul. No, he didn't foul from my point of view. Okay, let's talk about this, because a lot can, be on the line depending on where you at in the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then mistakes will happen. Like master level referees have told me they have made calls that were wrong that cost somebody a world title. It happens. It happens. It's not malicious.
And the last thing you need to do is do makeup calls. Good Lord. It happens in the NFL a lot, where you miss a call and then down the road you throw another call in to kind of balance out the bad call you had earlier in the game. No. Don't do that, because that's the worst thing you could do, because then there's a dark cloud over that particular referee. And, I don't know, he's been, you get a reputation and things like that. You don't want to do that. Or in the NBA. This happens a lot, especially during playoff time. You call a foul, right, toward the end of the game where it's like that same kind of foul happened in the first quarter and it's not called, but you're going to call it now when the game's on the line. Yeah. Can't do that.
And let's face it, in today's world, there's also the celebrity factor when it comes into some of these matches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's that?
So, oh. Yeah, that's some bullshit right there. Cody Merrick should have been thrown out of the tournament for complaining.
Oh, shit. There we go. So here we go. Hey, guys, get ready. I mean, who's going to rep that match? Because I'm assuming the match between you and Cody is going to be, okay, we're going to have a Canadian ref and an American ref. So am I going to see like Tim Talmadge on Team South and then, well, I shouldn't say Team South, but Tim Talmadge, who's an American ref, is he going to be reffing with Dave Hicks or a Butcher or somebody?
No, I think Billy hired my wife to referee that match.
Oh, man. Rick Pickney's going to be over there? Is that what I'm understanding?
No, it's Victoria's going to ref the match, and one of the guys I coach is going to be the downside ref. And I'm going to put the strap on if it happens.
There you go. I mean, I just need to know if everything's going to be, on the up and up, so